That's sparkling. Manning Sumner, CEO and founder of Legacy and No Days Off. I came to Miami in 2001, was when I had hair. And a friend of mine asked me to shave my head and I could be a body double in Bad Boys 2. So I was like, sign me up. Shaved my head on the spot, drove to Miami. Then started training professional athletes and celebrities, became a celebrity trainer when that was actually a thing, where there was no Instagram or anything like that. And started traveling the world, training these high-end individuals and celebrities, and just noticing that all the gyms were exactly the same. So every time I walked in the gym, I was like, they're all the same. So I came back to Miami with this vision of creating something that's unique and different, and that's when I created Legacy. And then this year, I actually created my own water, NDO H2O. We're the official premium water of the Miami Heat and Kaseya Center. So one of the things, I know, hey, one of the things I noticed is also every time I was in my gym, I kept looking at my cooler going, why am I giving all these people all my money instead of developing my own product? So that's something I really became passionate about, is creating my own apparel line, creating my own beverages. And so as I scale my gyms, I actually bring my products with me. And then we're also kind of getting outside of that into the everyday life also, like, you know, offices and businesses and restaurants and bars and things like that. So, yeah.
In terms of studio growth, tell us a little bit about how many studios you have right now or locations. And when you think about studio growth, how do you plan to grow? And I would say also, and Manning, why are you choosing not to?
I would say probably 10 years ago, it used to be more cutthroat. And I think we're really seeing, I think COVID really brought us together. Like, it was like something that the fitness community said, you know what, we're coming together. We're going to be more collaborators, because the math of collaboration is multiplication. So the more we can help each other, the more we can support each other, the more we grow. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And even when we're totally different. So in terms of the franchise question, so when I was thinking about opening thousands of locations and stuff, I was on the same path as Cody. I really had that intention of having this small boutique fitness and having my partner interval training scaling throughout the country. And then COVID happened. And so for me, COVID was kind of an eye-opener for me to really take a strong look at what I wanted for my brand. And did I want to have 1,000 locations out there that one day could be shut down in a heartbeat? And I looked at it and I was like, I don't want that. I would rather have quality, and not that having thousands, you can't have quality, but I looked at where the fitness industry was going in terms of amenities. And so for me, I saw that people really wanted community. They really wanted amenities. They wanted to not only come to work out at the gym, but they wanted to stay at the gym. They wanted to hang out at the smoothie bar. They wanted to do the cold plunge. They wanted to experience the sauna. They wanted to have physical therapy on site. They wanted to go to a lounge. They wanted to do a podcast. So I really saw that this could be bigger than a class. This could be bigger than a workout. So for me, I immediately shifted to a more premium gym. And again, when I say premium, just mean more amenities. And that has worked well with us. So I want to grow a little bit slower, focus on that, and do these spectacular 10, 15,000 square foot gyms that have a lot more to offer than just a class. But to say that, I think that's the beauty of we can all kind of exist together. And a prime example is like, I have Barry's members, I have Sweat 440 members. And so it's cool because it gives them maybe a place they could hang out while they're still using all the other amazing fitness concepts out there, like Trimble. We have a lot of Trimble people too, so yeah.
So going into your operations a little bit as operators, what do you guys deal with in your day-to-day, and how does Mariana Tek help support that, or not, but help support it?
I think the simplicity of Mariana Tek is what we love. I mean, it's user-friendly, both for the member and for the employee. So I would say that stands out the most. Like other people, we won't name names, I've done in the past, and it's just not been user-friendly. So the app is great. When people come and check in, it's seamless, it's easy. And then recently, I think we helped you guys actually for our open gym side.
Yep.
And we found a solution for that. And so that has added tremendous value. So I think also the willingness to work with us and like try. That was another thing too, that we kept just kind of hitting a wall with other companies. We want to do this. Well, we don't do that. And with you, we were like, we want to do this. Okay, let's try. And I think that's where innovation meets customer service. And if you can innovate and constantly innovate, then you're going to only be able to be better at customer service. And that's what I would like to see also, is let's keep doing that. Let's keep pushing the envelope. Let's keep trying to make things better. Because ultimately that's what we're doing in the fitness space, is we're all trying to become better. Well, let's do it at all aspects. So,
what are the challenges, generally speaking, that you guys deal with on a day-to-day basis?
What we were just talking about, people is always, it's your best thing and your worst thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we love people, that's why we do what we do, but then, finding good people sometimes can be challenging. But you always do end up finding good people. But it's the process of going through that.
Yeah.
And I think the fitness industry, it's a service industry. Your job is to serve people. And that's not always what people think the fitness industry is. So what people assume the fitness is flexing in the mirror and looking great and working out 3 hours a day. And that's not what it is. So I think hiring people is always a challenge, to make sure they understand what they're getting themselves into. And for me, that's always the biggest challenge.
Customer service here in general is hard.
Yeah.
Like compared to, I grew up in the Northeast, so up there it's very customer service oriented. Los Angeles, same thing.
Alabama, like I grew up in the South,
Right.
same thing. Like,
So
customer
here
service is easy.
It's hard to find like a smiling face for the front desk, because we always tell them, like, you're the most important person. You're the first face and the last face that they see. And you don't always find that. So I think it's like us, we've been here for years doing this. You eventually find really good people, but
Right.
it takes, for every 10 you get, you're gonna get one good person.
And especially with like front desk, you're going to end up, they're obviously not, they don't want to be front desk people their whole lives. So you're going to have a lot of turnover there. So you find that one that you absolutely love, and then she ends up becoming a nurse or, moving on. And so then you have to replace her. And then, so it's just that process. But it's because we love it, you go through it and you enjoy it. And you eventually, like I said, you eventually find the people you want. So. One of the things that we use that might help you is promotion through participation. What I mean by that is you have your popular trainers take the other trainers' class and post about it and hype them up and celebrate them. So then people are saying, oh, Susie Q loves Rachel. Well, if she stamps, it's like street cred. It's like saying, so I started doing that a long time ago when I knew I was going to step away from coaching, because I figured, the whole thing is going to shut down if I stop. And so I started to bring people in, and then I would just they would be the instructor, and I would take the class with everybody. And by doing that, it was like I was saying, hey, they're legit, they can do this. And so it just helps, and it makes your community stronger too. So to me, there's beauty in simplicity. There's, I think a lot of times people make things, even fitness, sometimes they make it too complicated. So I think that's why all of our programs are actually successful, is because technically speaking, they're all simple. We stick to the basics. We stick to things that work. It's consistency that compounds over time. You don't have to confuse the muscle. So
it's hard to make things look that easy.
Yeah, exactly, right. Most people want to do the easy thing. Sometimes it's better to do the hard thing. Almost always it's better to do the hard thing. So.
It's all done. It was a painful few weeks.
This is the only time y'all brought back that childhood trauma for me. So it's like being in a therapy session. But no, I think what I've never understood about the fitness industry, really any industry that is quote unquote competitors, is that if you essentially do the same thing, which is helping people become the best versions of themselves, why would you hate on another person doing that same thing? We all wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We all work till 10 o'clock. We all have 20, 30, 100 employees. We all have multiple locations. We're all going through the same thing. So if you can just stop for a second and say, man, Cody's going through just what I'm going through, then you're more open to helping him instead of like bashing him or talking shit about him, So I think that's the first step, is realizing that we're all in this together. Also too, like, no one's the best at anything. Like, just stop. Like, we're the best gym in Miami. Like, just shut up. Like, it's just stupid. Like, you are what someone prefers. Like, when someone walks into a gym, they know if they want to be there or not. As soon as they walk in, There's something about the place that says, this is my tribe, this is where I want to be. Then they could go next door and feel the same thing. So it's like to say that you're only going to feel a certain way at a certain place is a little ridiculous, especially with all the options now. And I truly believe that if you open yourself up to doing Pilates, to doing yoga, to do spinning, do Sweat 440, to do berries, to do Trimble, to do Legacy, to do these other things, it's going to keep you on the fitness journey. It's going to, like, I'm not a big believer that you need muscle confusion and all that, but I am a big believer that you gotta stay motivated, right? You gotta stay disciplined in your approach. So that being said, sometimes it helps you if you do multiple things, you know? And maybe not too. Like if discipline is it and you Sweat 440 is what gets you going, well then so be it. Like then stick to it. So there's also enough people to go around. That's another thing too. Like in Miami, there's plenty of people. So we're not all fighting over the same people. Like you're gonna find enough people to join your gym and be successful in a city like Miami. So your question earlier, just to add to that, books, I'm a constant reader. And one of the things that I've done lately is I read a lot about other businesses. I mean, especially since I'm in the beverage business now, I've read a lot about the restaurant business. And I've learned I feel like the restaurant business is one of the toughest businesses to do. So if you can learn how they do it and how they run their systems and their customer service, it's easy to apply it to a gym business because it's easier.
That was awesome.
So,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.